has an amazing story of like from rags to riches.
There's also a lot of abuse inside the family, so my parents ended up getting divorced when I was in like grade 4, I think. When I did decide to meet him, he ended up passing away, so that kind of got put to an end there, and then my mom passed away shortly after that. These people, they need a purpose, right?
Right.
And so when you don't have a purpose, then you have nothing to live for, so it doesn't matter what condition you're living in, you know? The lady that picked her up called Pastor Stanley, so Pastor Stanley came, and that's when I got introduced to him, and
okay,
that's when everything started changing.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Dunn, and you're listening to the Ark Broadcasting Network today. And we have Caleb on today, and Caleb, he has an amazing story of like from rags to riches and all the different things that he has gone through. So we'd love you to stand by and listen to what he has to say. So Caleb, thank you for coming today. Are you excited?
Nervous. I guess there's some excitement bottled up in there, but
it's all good. It's all good. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like I know a little bit about your life, and I know kind of, you know, where you've come from, and so tell our audience kind of where you're at. Where'd you come from?
I was born in Peterborough. I've moved to a few different places. Nowhere too far from the area. Keep coming back here though.
This is home.
Yeah, it's kind of like a, I don't know what you'd call it, a reluctant home.
Right.
Yeah, but it's where I fall.
That's good though.
Yeah.
So I have heard that you, tell me about your mom and dad, kind of that journey there.
Yeah, so my mom, she's always been like strong Christian. I don't know what my history is with like my dad's religious outlook, but I know when I was raised as a child, we were a Christian home. We would go to church every Sunday, you know, say the evening prayers and prayers at dinner and breakfast before meals and whatnot. There's also a lot of abuse inside the family, so my parents ended up getting divorced when I was in like grade 4, I think, and then we were kind of estranged from my dad for years after that until I was like 18, and then it was kind of my decision whether I wanted to regain a relationship with him or not. When I did decide to meet him, he ended up passing away, so that kind of got put to an end there, and then my mom passed away shortly after that.
Yeah, that's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
So do you have siblings also?
Yes, I have 2 older sisters.
Okay, all right. So
and technically 3 half-sisters, but I've only met them once or twice. They're like twice my age. There's like a 14-year age gap between my mom and my dad. So like he was already married and had 3 kids before my parents got together. And so that family was kind of already pushed to the side, and then we've kind of met through funerals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
those are tough times. So what about, were you still serving the Lord when you lost your parents, or did you go through like a hard time there?
No, there was definitely some trials there. I've always kept my faith, but you know, there was an anger and just a confusion about like, it seemed like I was putting in a lot of effort and prayer and nothing was really going how, you know, you hear about it on the TVs about, you know, you pray for something and some big miraculous thing happens and somebody gets saved or healed. And I would pray for those things, nothing would really happen. So I just sort of stepped away from it for quite a few years, and then ended up coming back.
So how did you get involved with Ark?
That was through the mother of my children, Destiny. She was going through her own trials at the time. She was living homeless. She got connected with some people doing, I don't know, street ministry, I guess. And she got introduced to a couple people that go to the church at just a Circle K downtown. She got brought to the church. She went to a service. And then I still hadn't heard from her for a while because she was living on the streets and into some addiction troubles. But then she ended up reaching out to me for some help, and I met up with her through somebody that picked her up from the church. They kind of brought us together, met somewhere, and then the lady that picked her up called Pastor Stanley. So Pastor Stanley came, and that's when I got introduced to him, and
Okay.
that's when everything started changing.
Everything started changing for the better.
Yes, yes, much better, much better.
So what's the difference? Kind of paint me a little picture of what's the difference between the life you came from and where you are today.
So the life I was kind of living was, I don't know if lonely is the right word to put it, but there just wasn't really much of a sense of community and like
Connections.
connection. Yeah, like there's no one that you could really reach out to for reliable help or even just like good direction, right? But through the church, you know, you find a lot of good, faithful people that are like ready to serve others, right?
Right.
And so they always have a lot of good recommendations or you know, outlets for you,
Yes.
and they can kind of lead you. So that's been a big difference.
So has the Ark helped with your wife, like in different channels, to get her into a healing program or anything?
Yeah, oh
like
yeah,
that?
absolutely. So they she's a little stubborn, but so
Is
it's
she a
take-
redhead?
No, but actually when I met her hair was dyed red.
Okay. Well, maybe it's in her blood
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah. But so it took a couple different channels, but we through the church we found one that has a lot more hope, I think, left in it. So she's sticking to it. She's in a year-long program through Teen Challenge, which is a faith guided rehab facility. It's a year program, and I'm looking forward to her getting out and seeing the
Yeah,
other
that's
side.
good. So how did she connect into Teen Challenge? Through Pastor Stanley?
I think Pastor Stanley had a huge part in it for sure.
Right.
But there's another family, Rachel and Richard, that go to this church, and they, I called up when Destiny reached out for help. I called up Pastor Stanley. He came over. He gave us somewhere to stay for a couple nights, and then this was the second time. And then Rachel and Richard, Stanley got a hold of them. They picked her up, brought her to a detox center, gave her a couple boundaries, you know, like if you're going to come live with us until you get into a rehab, you got to go to detox. We're going to take your phone away. You know, like no friends at the house. And we kind of like gave her a list of like the people that she was allowed to maintain contact with.
Right. Like boundaries.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So yeah, she completed her detox. They brought her back to her house, and they stayed there for, I think Pastor Stanley said 39 days or 40
Yes,
nights or
I heard
something.
that. Yeah, I heard that the other day. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah. So they went through the wilderness for sure.
And she's doing well at this point. Like she's working through.
Oh yes.
So do you have contact with her at this point?
No, not right now.
Okay.
So she's completely shut off from the outside world, which is probably a good thing. Leading up to that, though, you know, they were giving her certain amounts of time during the day to use the phone, and so I would get a lot of updates about her. And you could see from like the first week to like the last couple of days that she was there, just a huge shift in
Her attitude.
and her outlook. And
Wow,
yeah.
That's good. So the Ark was really great as in helping you facilitate all this. And, you know, like I know you do a lot behind the scenes stuff at Ark, and I know that you work a lot with putting our songs up, and you always have everything ready for us.
I'm kind of a hands-on guy, so I don't like sitting still. So if I can, like I've gone to church services before, but you get a little restless in the seats, and you know you just get fidgety. So when I'm at church and I can kind of work with the computers and help behind the scenes, like it gives me something to focus on and keeps me occupied. Yeah, keep me busy. That's right.
So do you find, like, tell me a little bit about the transformation in you through this ministry?
I would say the biggest thing has just been, you know, when you don't have a community to reach out to, you kind of have like this hopeless feeling of like you're just in a cog, just spinning constantly. You're not going anywhere. You're not making traction. So when I got in touch with the ministry again, I could really start seeing some like forward momentum in like a lot of different aspects of my life, which has been a big motivator to keep going.
Right. I've seen a huge difference in you just in the last few months.
Oh, thank you.
Right. Like a total change, and you're clearer and your eyes are clear, and you know, you've been such a great blessing to this ministry. But this is what the ministry is all about. This is what ARK is all about. You know, helping people and bringing them in and loving all over people, right? And we want to see transformation in people's lives, right? So you're not just left alone, because again, this life can be very lonely, right? Like, and God will never leave us. He'll never forsake us. He'll never leave us as orphans, right? He's always there. And sometimes you just need a team of people behind you to help you out with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I was kind of doing things in my own way and still having like that sliver of faith, and just like every now and again
you're sitting on the fence.
Yeah, but you'd still feel the conviction of like,
sure,
God's like watching me right now. Like I should probably pray or something, or start talking to him again. And that really leads you back into, I think, where you need to be.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
It's good. It's the conviction. That's your spirit connecting to God's spirit, right? And so he's saying like, hey man, you're in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Like you need to kind of come back over. So Caleb, I know that you have had a little experience in the drug area and kind of lived in that area, which I've never lived in, right? So can you kind of explain what goes on there? Or like
nothing really good, to be honest.
how deep you can get in? How deep is it?
Yeah, so I'd say it's a pit. Like once you're in it, like I could see how difficult it is to get out. Thankfully, I think the small faith that I've had has never really pushed me so deep into it that like I wasn't able to get out of it.
Right.
And it's always driven me to help the people that I love not get so far into it where they can't come out. But yeah, you meet a lot of different people in that, and I think the main issue is just access to it, and just like how, like there's obviously rules and regulations and laws and enforcement, but like it's not really, I don't think it's as strict as it needs to be. And like I think a lot more people are more, what's the word? You got to kind of be sensitive with this stuff. But
I can't help you.
yeah, no, they're not as like they're just too open to it, I think. And I think.
Do you think it's a hopeless place? Like it's just a hopeless place, or are they numbing? Are they numbing with the experiences of life, or?
I think they're just desperate. You know, they don't see a way out. They don't see.
So they don't really care what happens to them.
I don't think it's that they don't care what happens to them. I think it's just the fact that they get comfortable, right?
Okay.
They get comfortable, and then you get this cloud of judgment where you're like, everything I have is, like the bare necessities are kind of there, you know?
Right.
Like I've got, whether it's a tent or, you know, underneath a bridge or something, they've got something over their head.
Like they're content with just that.
It seems that way. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
when they could really have a better life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
You know, I went through homelessness for a couple weeks, but I didn't want that to be the final outcome. You know what I mean? Like I really tried hard to stay out of that, and I think I was lucky in the sense of, well, just through the connections that my mom had. She knew a lot of people in the church community. And just by happenstance, I ran into somebody that was a mentor to me when I was really young, and it was just divine intervention. That's
right.
all I could really call it, because I was sleeping in my truck. I got reconnected with a family friend that I hadn't seen for probably over 15 years, and just out of the goodness of his heart, being, you know, a godly man, he offered me a place to live.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I think if there was more opportunity like that for people, that were, you know, suffering these challenges, then you'd see a lot more progress, because I think the main thing is these people don't have motivation to do any better, right? And they don't really have a example.
Right.
So
Or they have no way of getting out.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So if there was like a transformation center that they could go to, like that they know that, okay, I can be helped over here, right? Or I can be taken in or rehabilitated. Would that change?
Yeah, and it's not even just so much of like the handout. These people, they need a purpose, right?
Right.
And so when you don't have a purpose, then you have nothing to live for. So it doesn't
Right.
matter what condition you're living in, you know? You could be content pretty well anywhere, because like, what's there to live for? You have no purpose.
Right.
But if you can live for something, you know, you're seeing your value in like your work and your ethics, then they have far better chance of, like, once they get that help, they can stay out of that lifestyle, because now they're seeing, you know, their hard work paying off, right?
Right. They can see something coming.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why ARK wants to do a transformation center. So a place where somebody can come and then they would have a purpose. So they can go through the healing process, right? Come back and learn how to garden and do different things like, you know, a coffee shop and sell coffee, and, you know, just different things to kind of integrate people into the world, and like help them with getting jobs and different things like that. Like, I think a healing center is amazing. Like, I don't know, coming from you, who's come from that side to this side, like, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just going to be able to see your efforts like actually mean something, and because the hardest part is finding a job. Honestly, I've been struggling with finding a job for a long time, and it's not because I'm not willing to work. I've been putting in a lot of time trying to find something. So, because you're kind of looked at as like an outcast of the world, right? Nobody really wants you get looked at as unreliable,
Okay.
right? And you can see why, because a lot of people, you know, once they get drugs, like that
are
consumes
unreliable,
you.
yeah.
You are unreliable, absolutely. So if you can provide a space where, you know, you're sheltered away from the problem, and you're surrounded by people that care about you, and you're given an opportunity to like really show your value,
Right.
and then they can see the value in themselves, then I think that'll make a huge difference.
That's amazing. Well, I do know that the ARK is actually putting together this center, and then they'll bring people in, like, say, teach them how to be hairstylists, teach them how to be carpenters, teach them how to be electricians, get their trades in, that they can go and they can work outside the world, which will be easier to get a job, you know. So
absolutely.
that's what the Transformation Center is, and that's what we're working towards. And, you know, just doing interviews like this, even though they're short, it kind of gives you an idea of where people have come from, but where God can bring you. But then what's the next step, right? What's the next step? The next step is, you know, training and teaching and getting people jobs, right? And then you will go get that next person, pull them out and teach them how to go through this, you know. So the Transformation Center for the ARK, I feel, is huge, you know, to help many, many, many people, you know, and like even seniors that don't have a place to go, you know, or they need a job, they need a purpose as well. It doesn't matter if you're young. People who are older need something too, right? Because they think they're useless. So, you know, is there anything else you would like to add?
I can't think of anything right now, to be honest.
Well, you've done an amazing job, you know. Caleb, he's been an amazing guy, and I've seen the transformation in his life and just the brightness in his face and his eyes, you know. So Ark of God has taken people off the streets, helped them out, put them in homes, did different things. But this Transformation Center would be amazing, that it's not just one man doing it. It will be a whole bunch of people coming together and making it happen. So go to the website, check out Ark of God, and we'd love to see you. Put in comments and we'll get back to you. God bless.